clever hacks to make cooking way easier. Come gather around, people, wherever you roam, and check out these clever cooking hacks, tips, and tricks we have for you. If you've come here, it's likely you're hoping for some awesome cooking hacks to make your life way easier, and I promise you that you've come to the right place. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned cook or an amateur chef who's just starting out cooking for the first time. These hacks have changed the way people work and cook around the kitchen. It is my hope that they'll serve you well. Pass them on to people you know. Knowledge is power after all, right? Before we begin this video, don't forget to become a member of the Bestie universe by subscribing to our channel so that you never miss one of our new videos. And make sure you share our videos with your friends to let them in on all our amazing tips, tricks, and life hacks. Now, keep watching for the most amazing, clever hacks that will make your cooking way easier. Number 15, terracotta in brown sugar. Ever try baking something only to discover that all your brown sugar is completely stuck together in one gross, dry clump? Never fear. Take a piece of terracotta roughly the size of the inside of your jar, or you can actually buy these at the store. They're called brown sugar savers. But if you're cheap like me, an old washed and cleaned piece of flower pot works just fine too. Soak the terracotta in the water for about 15 to 20 minutes, then place it on top of your brown sugar. Miraculously, the sugar won't clump together like it normally does. If the effect wears off, simply re-soak the terracotta, then put it back into the sugar. It'll return normal again. Number 14, freeze leftover onions, celery, tomatoes, etc. If you're anything like me, when you buy fresh produce, often it'll go bad because you aren't using enough of it quickly enough. When I'm taking the time to cook a large pot of soup or something, and I happen to chop too much celery, onions, or tomatoes, or anything that might be used, I simply take a Ziploc bag, put the excess vegetables in the bag, and put them in the freezer until I think I can use them again. They keep reasonably well, and it's less wasteful. Number 13, wait for your oven to finish preheating before using it. I can't express how important this hack or rule is. When you don't wait for your oven to preheat before starting to cook any type of recipe, whatever you place in the oven won't be properly cooked because the oven hasn't reached the temperature you need it to be at. Waiting for your oven to preheat will benefit your cooking in the long run. Just be patient. Did you know that there's an awesome tip you can use to sharpen your knife without having to buy any fancy equipment? All the chefs do it. Well, stick around until the end to find out what that tip is. Number 12, keep an organized fridge. Nothing sets me back more when I'm cooking than when my fridge hasn't been properly organized. Always looking around for things and having to shuffle the contents aside constantly to gain access to what you need is annoying. Use storage shelves, lazy Susans, labels, anything to keep your items separated and clean. Number 11, start your bacon earlier than the eggs. Here's an awesome trick. When you're cooking breakfast for loved ones or family, it's always important to start cooking your bacon in advance before you start cooking your eggs. I can't tell you the number of times I've been served breakfast by friends only to have them give me burnt eggs and undercooked bacon. Cook your bacon until it's almost finished. Then set it aside in the pan on another burner with a very low setting when you start your eggs. This will keep the bacon warm while you cook and finish your eggs. Are you liking these cooking tips and tricks so far? Keep watching as we continue to count down to the number 1 hack that makes cooking much, much easier. Number 10, freeze leftover herbs in ice cube trays. If you have any leftover herbs that you've purchased from the store in danger of going bad, one hack that really works well is putting them in your ice cube trays with a little olive oil. When you need some fresh seasoning on the fly, simply pop out an herb cube and use it in your cooking. Number 9, get an organized spice rack. It sounds cliche and seems like something that belongs in your grandma's kitchen, but a spice rack, especially one that's properly labeled, is an amazing way to keep your seasoning game at top notch. No more frantic looking around for the basil, because it's right there on your rack, organized alphabetically. I'm not too strict when it comes to organization, am I? Number 8, organize your cupboards. Now that we're on the organization train, is it any wonder that I can't stress how important it is that you keep your entire kitchen organized? From your fridge to your spice rack to your cupboards, you need to find a home for everything. Pasta goes here, the pots go there. Crackers stay here. When you know where everything is in your cooking space, even the smallest kitchens can become an efficient cooking palace. Number 7. Freezing chili, soups, and pasta sauces for meal prep. Sometimes, when I get carried away with cooking something like chili or chicken noodle soup, I end up making way too much of the stuff, like absurd amounts. Instead of being forced to eat chili for an entire week, I now put it in a large Tupperware container, label them, and stick them in the freezer. The next time you want chili, it's ready to go. Simply take it out to thaw or stick it in any slow cooker on low before work, and you'll have to do zero cooking. Number 6. Pre-peel bananas before freezing them. This is a cooking hack that has transformed my life. It seems absurd now, but before bed, when I was saving older bananas, I was tossing them whole into the freezer. Instead, what I do now is pre-peel the banana and put the chunks into a Ziploc bag for future use. Not only does this make the smoothies far easier, when I go to make banana bread, I'm not stuck trying to peel soggy, gross brown bananas. Number 5. Take note of what's expiring. Rather than waste needless products, it's really helpful to keep track of things that are expiring in your kitchen. Have a jar of salsa close to the end of its life? Have a taco night. Need to use up the rest of your lunch meat? Make some chicken cordon bleu. It's fun because sometimes the ingredients that are going to expire help you get creative in the kitchen. Who wants mushroom sandwiches? Number 4. Pinch of salt in coffee. Believe it or not, when you're cooking a fresh batch of coffee in the morning, to take a bit of the bitter edge of any dark roast blends, try adding a small pinch of salt into the grinds before you brew. Trust me, when I say this will make one of the best cups of coffee you've ever had in a long time. Number 3. Measure spaghetti by hand. Did you know that you can measure how much pasta you want to use for 1, 2, or more people just by using your thumb and index finger? My grandmother showed me this tip, and it changed my life. Take the tip of your thumb and place it on the tip of your index finger. Putting the spaghetti noodles through the hole and filling it will determine a serving for about 3 people. Move your thumb down to the first digit on your index finger and you've got pasta for 2. Move your thumb again to the second digit on your index finger and you've got pasta for 1. If you move your thumb right to the knuckle, you've gone too far and you have pasta for none. Number 2. Freeze coffee in ice cubes. If you're a righteous coffee snob like me, you might actually consider freezing coffee in ice cubes for when the next time rolls around that you want to make iced coffee. When the iced coffee cubes melt, they won't dilute your coffee. Who wants watered down coffee in the morning? It's not me. Number 1. Use a tablespoon of olive oil to stop pasta from sticking. Any pasta you cook needs about 3 or 4 minutes in rolling, boiling water, but if you're having trouble with your pasta sticking together, you can add a tablespoon of olive oil to your water as it cooks. Some people say that this isn't a good thing because then it stops your pasta sauce from sticking to the noodles, but I think they're wrong. Alright, now that you've made it to the end, it's time to find out how you can sharpen your knife without having to buy any fancy or expensive equipment. Sharpen your knives using the bottom of a ceramic mug. Did you know that if you have a thick ceramic mug in your kitchen cupboard that you actually have a makeshift knife sharpener as well? When in doubt, you should always try to get your knives sharpened by a professional if you aren't comfortable or experienced in doing it yourself, but in a pinch, the bottom of your mug will do the same thing. What other cooking hacks do you know that weren't mentioned in this video? Let us know in the comment section below. Enjoyed this video? Hit the like button and share with your friends. Also, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.